Hey guys! It felt like a good day to film a Q&A. Thought I would do so. Hey guys, editing Jen here. I am so sorry. I did not think when I sat down outside to film about the noise that the wind would make, and I apologize. It's really annoying. It's really annoying and I don't have time to refilm it, and I'm sorry. I have been not doing great with my equipment lately, with my audio and the visual. And it's something that I plan to work on specifically, hopefully this fall, and produce better quality for you guys, because you deserve that. Anyway, just wanted to apologize for that off the bat. I'll do my best in the edit to keep it at a minimum, but it's there, and I am very sorry. I am at the family home in Utah. If you haven't been keeping up with me, we drove out here on an RV a few weeks ago. It was a very long drive, but it went really, really well. We called it our COVID bubble. We did not use any public restrooms or any public... We only got gas and stepped outside to get some fresh air and take the dog to the bathroom. And it worked beautifully. It took us 2 full days to get here. And it worked out great, and we've been having a lovely time. I've taken a bit of an unintentional hiatus, but it actually it felt really good. I really needed a bit of a break. Oh, it's windy. Shoot. I'm sorry if I'm going to be squinting and there might be some wind, and hopefully I need to update my whole camera on audio setup, something I'm hoping to do this fall. But I like to do these Q&As, check in with you kind of seasonally, a few times a year, so I asked. There were lots of questions, a lot of the same questions too, so I'll definitely hit on those. If I repeat myself from previous Q&As, I apologize. It happens, but I'm just trying to answer the ones that are the most commonly asked, and also just the ones kind of stand out to me right now that I feel like answering, to be honest. It's kind of let's think of it about like having a chat. Let's have a chat. And then if you're like, how do I ask you a question for future ones? I do this on Instagram. In fact, that's the social media platform that I use pretty much exclusively, aside from YouTube, which I really think of more of, I guess it's a social media platform. I really just think of it as my posting forum. But yeah, so let's dive into the questions. And there are no particular order, but like I said, I will try to hit the most commonly asked ones for sure, because there were, I think, 2 or 3 questions that were asked a lot. I got asked actually how I am quite a bit, which is really sweet. Thank you for checking in on me. This person says, how do you feel these days? Are things looking up or still difficult? Things are looking up. I mean, it really is a very difficult time for so many reasons for all of us. But I feel like my mindset has definitely shifted, and that is in no small part due to a really strong gratitude practice that I have. Whenever I feel myself kind of going down the rabbit hole, like I like to say, with anxiety and stress and all the unknowns and the uncertainties and all the really scary things that are happening in the world or even just in life, I find that I can really anchor myself back to a calm place if I literally stop my brain, take a look around, and see something to be grateful for, whether it's the smallest little thing, like how beautiful the sun looks on the mountains right now. That's not that small of a thing. Or, something bigger, just like how grateful I am to have this really precious time with my children. That really helps with my framework, and it's just been really... It's been everything to get me through difficult times and all of this uncertainty. Having that has been great. So I highly suggest giving it a try. Keeping a daily gratitude journal is not something I actually am currently doing because I do it so often throughout the day, just like in my head. But it's something I did literally write down for years and years. At the end of the day, like 3 or 5 things I'm grateful for, and that's a really good way to get into that habit. of looking through the lens of gratitude. How can I execute a move with baby next week without serious anxiety? So again, if you haven't been keeping up, I did recently move. It's been a couple months now, a month, couple months. Wow, time. And airplane, and wind, and all things. That's just gonna be loud. It was seriously stressful. I think moving is seriously stressful any old time. The added stressors of having little ones and trying to do a move during a global pandemic, definitely it ups it. I would say it ups the moving stress by some factor of whatever. But here's what works for me, or what did work for me. It was breaking it up into manageable chunks. So things that I knew I could handle, moving the most important things first. In terms of the pandemic stuff, it was moving as much as I could myself to minimize contact with other people. That's just a personal thing you have to decide for yourself. I know I'm pretty much, I would imagine all moving companies now are being very, very careful with strict protocols about that. And you, of course, can, control things on your end as well. In a way that works for you. But for me, I just wanted to move as much as I physically could handle myself, and that's what worked for me. And having help with the kids to keep them out of the actual move day. If you have a moving day where you're hiring a company and they're coming in and they're in your house and they're in your new house, having the kids out of the house completely for the entire moving weekend really helped, because not only were they not underfoot, I didn't worry about them coming into contact with anybody else, again with the pandemic stuff, and it was just a big thing I didn't have to really think about, was taking care of them in addition to being so busy with the actual moving process. So that's something I would suggest to anybody with kids. Maybe have some help that day or that weekend or whatever your situation is, if you can swing it. What are the best ways to support someone going through a divorce? This was asked a few times. I think this really depends on the person, but for me, it's been very helpful for the people in my close circle who've been so supportive, is just knowing that they're there if I need them in a non-judgmental capacity to listen. Not to give advice, not to tell me what they think I should do or think or say or feel, just to listen, just to be receptive and accepting and loving in that way. That's such a gift to give anybody in any situation, but I know for me with all of the divorce stuff, that's been a really critical part of my journey, is having people I could lean on in that way, which is not something I have historically always been good at, but I have been making efforts in connecting more genuinely with people, more authentically with people in my life, and it's actually been a really beautiful outcome of this whole thing. All right, I've gotten so many questions about Utah, so I will talk a little bit about this. This is just kind of a nice general question. She says, how has it been in Utah? Have you gotten to unwind? It's been amazing. I've had the most beautiful time. There were so many reasons why making this trip was important to me and the family, and for the kids, and there's just a big long list of reasons why it was something that was really important that we tried to do, and we really all came together to make it happen in a really beautiful way. I have gotten to unwind. It's just been lovely being, just me even physically being in the mountains. I unwind. Even if I'm doing the same amount of stuff as I do at home, like I feel more at peace, because this is just it's such a grounding place for me. So that's been beautiful in and of itself. And just waking up every morning and looking at these mountains. I'll try to put in a clip so you can see. I mean, we haven't really been going many places or doing many things, trying to be as safe as possible, but it doesn't matter, because all I need to do is look out the window in the morning and it is everything. It is everything. So that for sure. Somebody asked if I would do another RV trip to Utah. Absolutely. I actually didn't have any, I've never done anything like that before. I've never driven farther than, I don't know, like 10 or 12 hours to get to a destination. And I've never been in an RV or anything like that before. And we actually really liked it. I was pleasantly surprised that the kids genuinely loved it. There was no issue with them the whole time. They essentially didn't sleep much at all, which they never do when we go on any exciting trip at all. So that really wasn't that out of the ordinary that they were, you know, they didn't sleep well. It was just too exciting. And there were no meltdowns, and it was just very smooth sailing. And I think what would be really fun in a non-pandemic world would be to take more time and take maybe a more scenic route and take more stops. You know, when we're not worried about stopping and going in places and seeing things, I think that would be really fun to take even like a whole week to drive, maybe not even just to Utah, but to anywhere. Stop at national parks, stop at sites, and drive around the country even. I mean, it's just, I think the sky's the limit with that. And it's really, this opportunity has really opened my eyes to that as being something that I didn't know I was interested in. And now I am. And I think it's a really amazing way to see a place is on the road. And I see that now. And I think especially in a year, even just a year from now, my son, who's 2.5, will just sleep so much better in general. He's a pretty good sleeper, but I think he'll just be a better, if they sleep a little bit more, then it's a bit more fun, I think, you know, because then you sleep more. But yeah, I could totally see it being something I'd be interested in pursuing more. So I got a lot of questions about the family dynamic, being here. If you're not familiar, this is technically Don's family's second home. So being here with his family and him and the kids, his sister and her family decided not to come out. They didn't want to make the drive. That didn't sound appealing to them. Sorry, there's like shooting or something happening somewhere. I'm sorry, there's just a lot of ambient noise, but this is where I can film. And it's beautiful, so why not? Lots of questions about that, and I get it. You guys are curious. I would be absolutely curious too. It has been a really amazing experience for all of us. I'm just going to address this because this was asked a lot. If this means we're getting back together, absolutely not. But I think it's an amazing sign of how far we've come and our priorities, that we are able to be together with the kids and get along great. The thing with me and Don is we actually get along really, really well. We do not work as romantic partners in the long run, we just don't. But we're really good co-parents, and we're actually really good friends. And it's a really beautiful thing to have figured that out and be on the other side of all of the difficulty it took in that middle of that transition. As for the family, you know, of course it's been a transition with them as well, but they've been just so supportive and lovely, and they are my family, and that is for life. We are connected for life through my children, and even if I didn't have children, we would still be connected for life. So yeah, I mean, like I said, there was a long list of reasons why this trip was a good idea, and one of them was, you know, having this time with the family for all of us to kind of see how we're shifting into our new normal. And it's been beautiful. It's been such an amazing time of connection, and we've talked about it. We all feel really good. We're in a really good place. What would you tell your 23-year-old self? I would tell my 23-year-old self that she is so much stronger than she knows, that she is a fighter, that she is beautiful in and out, that she is capable of true connection with others, and that she is worthy of that. She is worthy of showing up just as she is, and that people love her for it. That she is loved, and that she is love. That's what I would tell her. How did you get more into cooking? From what motivates you with meal planning? I am terrible at meal planning. I'm really, really atrocious at it. It's something that it's kind of one of my goals in the next year or so to really get better at. And honestly, cooking has always just not been my favorite. I think as a recovering perfectionist, I just get I put too much stock into what the meal, I want the meal to be perfect. And just the realities of life as a mom of 2 little ones, I'm realizing it just needs to be edible for the most part, and the kids are fine. And I'm just getting much more relaxed attitude about it, and that's helping a lot. I think it will help to do some more meal planning. There's just, honestly, I haven't had a lot of emotional or mental space or time for it in the last, since through having infants and going through difficult life stuff. But now I feel like that's opening up a lot. I have more space there, and I have more interest there as I have more emotional and mental space. So we'll see what unfolds with that. I think I kind of like cooking. I think I do. So we'll see. I'll take you guys along for the ride with that. Oh yes, I said I would update you on our Disney plans. This person asked what our Disney plans are, and they are DVC too. It's difficult, isn't it? I just full out canceled any trip. We were supposed to go over spring break in March. Obviously that didn't happen. So we optimistically rebooked our trip for the first week of September. Obviously that's not happening. I mean, I know people who have gone and it's been safe. It just doesn't, for what my kids are into at their age, at 2 and 4, they love the meet and greets. They love the dining with the characters. They love the hugs and the signatures, and none of that is happening right now. So to me, it's well, it's not really worth going. So tentatively, I'm thinking next fall, but I'm not planning anything yet. We'll see. It's very possible I will sell the DVC. I do own it. It's something that I got in the divorce. A little insider info for you there. So it is mine to decide what to do with. I don't know if I'll keep it because it is expensive to keep up with. Especially it's just not worth it financially if we're not going at least 1 week a year. And I just don't know how it's gonna unfold, and it breaks my heart a little bit. But at the same time, it's well, maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe we're meant to do other things instead. And it doesn't mean we can't ever Disney again. It's just a lot of money to put into something that is just so uncertain. So honestly, I don't know. I am not sure. But once I figure that out, I will report back. I got a lot of questions about school in the fall, if I'm going to be sending the kids to school, if our school's opening, or if it's online. I don't know yet. As of right now, my kids' school is planning to open. I think that's subject to change. Who knows? I am not making a decision about that until we get there. And I have about another month until I have to make that decision. And honestly, I think a lot can happen in a month right now with what's going on in the world. And I just kind of want to see. And it might be that I try sending them for a minute, and if that doesn't feel good, then I'll pull them. And it's not a big deal because they're 2 and 4, and I don't think they're missing anything super critical by not being in the building right now. But that being said, there is a lot to gain from being in that particular school, because it's just an amazing school, and we love it, and yeah, it's a really amazing environment for my children, and I would love for them to go back in a safe way. But that is going to be a game time decision for me. And those were the main questions. People were really curious about the Utah situation and about school, and the RV and all that. And I get it. I mean, it is it's a little bit of an interesting time, isn't it? And by little bit, I mean extraordinarily unique. I'm feeling optimistic. I try not to dwell on the unknowns, and I anchor myself in gratitude. That's what I do. What do you do? Let me know in the comments. Again, sorry about the wind and the ambient noises. Hopefully this turned out. I will be heading home soon, so I'll be back with regular content shortly. And wherever you are, I hope you are doing well and hanging in there. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.